Okay, cool. Hello. Hello, everybody. How you guys doing? Good evening. Okay. Hey, Lef, Vector, Mighty, Tasty, and Joanne. How are you guys doing? So tonight, like all nights, I don't really have a plan. We're gonna see what we come up with today. I hope everybody's doing well. It's a little bit like there's kind of like showers and stuff in the background, so if you hear like splattering, that's just pouring outside, so don't mind that. Yeah, no, it's good to have you here, Mighty. I'm glad to see you. It's good to see you again. And everybody else. But as I wait for people to kind of like filter in and stuff, then I'm just gonna do my little spiel like I always do. So anybody watching on YouTube, skip forward like 5 minutes. You've already heard. My name's Ashley Adams. I'm a character and creature artist, and I work with both traditional art and 3D art. Tonight, and as all of my segments on the Pixelogic channel, I basically take a sphere, like you see this thing on the screen right here in ZBrush, and I just kind of mash it around until I find a couple of shapes that I like, and I start seeing what kind of a creature I can get from it. It is more of an exercise than an actual project, because if you're doing an actual project, if you're working for somebody, if you're actually trying to study and learn, then you always are going to want to do that from reference. But this is sort of like an exercise to play around with design, and just like specifically design, and not restrict yourself to references of anatomy, and focusing on other aspects of your art, just focusing on the design aspect, the design element, and just kind of like, I guess other people call it sandbox art. It's just a lot of fun to do. And if you like what you're designing, you could always just go back in afterwards and reference and make it better. And also, if you're interested in sculpting along with me and you haven't tried ZBrush, ZBrush actually, Pixelogic offers a 45-day free trial, which you can download below or on their website. And I definitely recommend it. It's a lot of fun. And I mean, 45 days is enough time to learn the UI. Also, Z Classroom is where you're going to want to start that. You can get that off of Z Classroom, all your beginner tutorials and everything like that. So I definitely recommend trying it. Recommend trying it. Every time you want to go to sleep. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, Nox. It's I start streaming at 8 p.m. EST every Wednesday and 8 p.m. EST every Tuesday on my channel. So it is a little bit late for some people, but that's kind of like what I can manage right now, and that'll change in the future within the coming months. But for now, that's what it is. I am judging the sphere. Hello, Oko. How are you? Hey, Games. Going good so far? Oh, that's great. Good to hear. Good to hear. 2 a.m. Oh my goodness. You could catch the VOD. It's fine. Alright, guys. So, like I always do, so I take this thing and I mash it around. Also, one more thing before I start. You guys are unaware, tomorrow is the sculpt off for the ZBrush Summit. And there's a ton of really, really great contenders this year. Hold on, let's see. Let's see if I can find the list. Here we go. So if you guys want to check out the list of people that are going to be in the sculpt off tomorrow, you can check that out. It's gonna be super dank. Definitely check it out. I'm gonna be there. I'm not at the actual sculpt off, but like in Twitch chat. So that's gonna be hosted here on this channel. Check it out. Yeah. Yeah, Mighty. I'm gonna try and get a like like a morning, midday for me stream going in the future at some point. We'll see. We'll see how that happens. Okay, so all right. Let's start like mashing some stuff around. So the whole idea is, yeah, like none of this is gonna look too great to begin with, and that's like totally okay. It's totally fine. I'm actually almost thinking of like a hooded creature here. There we go. Yeah, it's the way that that worked out was almost like, oh yeah, this could be sort of a little bit of like maybe a natural hood crest thing that happens in some kind of a creature. Just keep playing off of it and see what we can get. So actually, I'm just gonna shrink this down a bit to make sure that when I start adding any kind of like extremities or anything like that, it's all gonna be good for size with the dynamic brush. This could actually... The theme for tonight, how about do something like, if you think of a hood, what do you think of? Like the word hood. So like I've got some sort of like this is going to be some sort of like a naturally occurring hood. I'm thinking almost like we could either go insect, we could even like integrate it with some sort of like a mammal type look here, but it's going to be more like sectioned pieces. So if you're thinking hood, does it necessarily have to be hood like fabric? Could it be a different kind of a thing? I guess the theme tonight is just what can you do with a hood? Hey Imaginator, how are you doing? Yeah, no, it's all good. You don't have to necessarily sculpt from scratch, but like if you're doing something, you know, it's sort of like it's a work session, you know? That's how I like to look at this. Work session. Hey Bacon, what up? How you doing? Gangsta creatures in the hood. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see what this turns into. Kind of getting interesting. It's not really what I normally do. We'll see. It's not like insect based. Let's see what we can get here. Kind of want to have like maybe like some sort of like ear thing. And also another thing to note is if it's not working, if your design is not working right off the bat, don't be afraid to just like kill it, like start over. It's totally fine if you just like say, you know what, this isn't working. Like I'm just like pushing around something that's like really like not coming, like nothing is coming from it. Like don't even worry about that. You can totally like kill it with fire. Just mirror. It's kind of like pig rabbit. Don't really know what mammal in particular this is. And that's okay, because it's just like some sort of like weird creature. We'll mirror that over. Okay, let's see, sorry. Yeah, kind of plant-like, right? Like that's the thing. Like you could totally integrate like whatever you want into your designs, which is really fun. And that's like the whole idea, is to just kind of like let yourself go and just see what the heck you come up with. You know, at the end of this, not all of you might think that this looks good. I might not think it looks good, but the whole idea is like the process and the journey that you take to get there. You're going to be looking for shapes. Like I am looking for very strong shapes here. I'm not going straight into detail. You see, I'm focused on, okay, this is like a diamond shape here, and then there's like boxes. Like you can see that I'm focused strictly on like larger shapes, and that's something that this exercise focuses on. It makes you really like hone into what lines are going where, and just understanding that in a general sense, and simplification as well. So it might not look good at the end, but that's okay, because it's part of an exercise. That's fine. Just relaxing. Nice. Sculpt the crab. Do it. Hey, VBN. Move tool. How did you set that up? Because the default one is a bit weird. The move tool. Tasty. Are you in 4R8? Are you talking about the move tool in terms of like this thing? The gizmo? The gizmo can be found up here, like with all of your other like with your move, scale, rotate, and draw, like all of that kind of stuff. The gizmo's right here. By clicking Y, you can turn it into the transpose tool. Unless you're talking about the brush in itself. There is no default brush move tool, but I have the snake hook tool. That's what I use. But you can use the actual move tool. Hey Danny, what's up? How are you? How's it going? Hey, Hyperspace, how's it going? Oh no, Brosif, like I literally just started 10 minutes ago. Like I just got on. It's okay. Hey Hugo, how's it hanging? I'm just gonna, yeah. Inktober, Fear? No, you guys, if you've been participating in Inktober, Inktober is the new Ink Toga party. All of the college kids are going wild for it. See it on your 8 o'clock news. Why moms hate this new Sorry, I'll stop. no idea what kind of a thing that is, but it is a thing. How do you add a new sphere and resize it? Okay, so if you're going to add a new sphere, you just come into your subtool palette right here. Subtool palette, and there's this button right here called Append. If you click Append, you're going to see a whole bunch of other... I'm not sure if you have all of this in core down here, the 2.5 brushes, 2.5D brushes, but you can just disregard that if you do. You just click the sphere when you append. You can append any kind of like object in here as well. And I'm not sure if core has the Z spheres. It might, it probably does. But if it does, this actually can, you'll see me using it later. These are actually really helpful for creating your base meshes to then sculpt on top of as well. Like just like really quickly, like hashing out like, you know, appendages and tails and things of that nature. Right, going through your trash, Ryman? That's awesome. Hey, McLovin, how are you doing? Hey! Lord of Blueland, what up? How you doing? I can speak in your tongue. Here, check that out. Warm-blooded version of a Krogan. Oh my gosh! That's actually kind of funny! Okay. So we could probably... I'm gonna actually take this whole head bit out. So you can actually take parts of your mesh and separate them from the rest of your sculpt by masking it off. And I recommend doing this if you want to get any kind of like extra detailing in or clean separations. You're gonna want to separate them via masking it off and then going into your subtool palette, split, and then split the masked points. I'm gonna quickly save this because before I do any closed hole operation or any Dynamesh operation, I always do like a quick save because sometimes I realize that the, hold on. One sec. I'm really bad at typing and talking at the same time. One sec. Because sometimes I realize that, like, I don't realize that the area which I split off from the other mesh when you Dynamesh or close holes, sometimes the calculation gets messed up because of you know, like one of these things being like way too far out or something like that, and it doesn't know like how to close it because it's just, it doesn't exist, it can't exist in real life. So if your mesh is like non-manifold, like if it's unable to exist in real life when the close holes function is being applied, then it's gonna be all wacky and wicky weird. So I have my close holes option over here, or function rather, but you can get that in your geometry tab, modify topology, and then just close holes. I do that if I don't want to like just re-Dynamesh all the time, but Dynamesh also works. I just typically like close holes because it's just faster. So I do that with both. And now that's a completely separate object, subtool, that you can work with. Subtool, how do you merge subtools? No worries, Tasty. In your subtool palette right here, there is a option right down here called merge. So you need to make sure that the one that you have selected is the one that you want to merge down onto. So if you wanted to merge the, let's say you wanted to merge this thing with this thing, then you make sure that these two in the subtool palette, like you can see here, are beside each other. And then click the one on top and say merge down, and it will merge down into this one, and they'll both be the same subtool. Do I kill? No, I don't think so, Hugh. I wouldn't be able to speak on behalf of them, what they're gonna do with the program. But there are still uses for the transpose tool, so like I still use this occasionally. Oh no, I'm not going to be at the summit this year. No, Alec, sorry. But I'm going to be hanging out in the chat. So I'll be here on Twitch. As an artistic stream for filling silence in your streams, just what you're doing, just speak what you're doing, or let your work do the talking. Well, I have music playing because I do. Sorry, I got an eyelash in my eye again, and it is the apocalypse all over again. This happens on a weekly basis. Oh my god, it's squatting. Okay. No. Sorry. So basically, what I do is I just have music playing, and I get really quiet. So. Like, yeah, you just kind of talk about what you're doing if you want to talk about it, or just talk to chat. Like, I talk to you guys sometimes. Like, oh god, nightmare. That's good. Just ignore everyone like Danny. Yeah, Danny does ignore everybody, including me. It's very rude. You gotta go? You're modeling a couch? No worries, Hugo. Hey, how are you doing, Neost? No, see, if you ignore me if I come into your stream, then you're just like Danny, and Danny hates Wally. Don't be like Danny. Love Wally, don't ignore me. Oh my god, Raven. Knocked, it's, I made like a bunch of cookies today. I'm just eating cookies. Can't help it. Okay, this is not what I wanted. I could probably edit it. Yeah, let's just turn it into an adaptive skin and then I'll edit it. Oops. Duplicate, mirror, and merge down. Yeah, but you can make fan art and still not like the thing. Just saying. Oh god, I don't know. Thank you, Danger. I'm glad that you find this stream entertaining. Like I don't really know what I do. I just kind of like, I'm a loudmouth in general. Like if you knew me in person, like I am a spaz. It's actually like as a streamer, as like somebody online, I'm sure like I guess it's a good quality, but in real life, you don't even want to know how many times people have like turned around, told me to just shh. Just shh. But yeah, I would just say like if you want to do any of this, just kind of talk to people. Like what do you think that they'd want to hear? Do you love Wally though? Hey, yeah, I've been eating cookies, look. well, it doesn't look like a cookie now, it just looks like a turd, but you know, whatever. Turds are good too. Can we get a picture? Oh no, T3, this is completely like just a exercise that's out of my head. That's kind of like the whole purpose of like these things that I do. Here is like, it's all just like out of my head, like just for funsy things. I just take the 4 hours to talk about ZBrush and sculpt some stuff out of my noggin. Tourette syndrome? Like a turret? A turret syndrome? Or do you mean Tourette's? If you have turret syndrome, you're gonna have a problem there. The military will love you. So if you guys have any questions about like what I'm doing or, you know, whatever, then just let me know. Because I'm not able to always explain what it is that I'm doing. Because I don't feel like, you know, I'm just kind of like in whatever like zone that I am. So if you want to know something in particular, just kind of like be like, yo, let me know the goods. Just like that. You have to phrase it like that. Ashley, yo, I want to know the goods. Okay, well, what goods do you want to know? And then you can tell me what goods you want to know. It has to be has to be phrased that way. Specifically that way. Ooh, booty! Don't ban me. Accidental inflate was accidental. Oh guys, actually I didn't shout Danny out. How cruel of me. How unfriendly to my fellow streamers I am. Guys, do you know who Danny Mac is? Do you know who Danny Mac is? Besides the fact that he doesn't like Wally. Are you familiar with our Lord and Savior, the Danny Mac? Let me introduce to you. Oh wow, my light just flickered. That means the gods are proud. The gods are proud. So, if you don't know our friend, the hater of Wally, but also this man, he makes me glow. You must follow him, for he also streams on Pixelogic. And he paid me $50 in order to have this plug on this stream, so please follow him. Every follow that you give to him, he will stop using Autodesk Maya. Because he is a spy. For 10 follows, then he won't use he won't use Maya anymore. And yeah, it was 55. Okay, well that's fair, but I only got $50 of it. So this is Danny. He hates Wally, and he needs your love and support to make him see that he's actually not that much of a horrible human being. So next, because I'm trying to save him. We're trying to save Danny. Save Danny. If you love Wally, follow him. Show him that he needs to love Wally too. All right, Danny, was that good enough for you? Can you remove your whole letter of hatred towards me now? Is that fine? Can you stop telling people about my my rampant addiction to you know, those things? just remove that now that I shared that for the audience and stuff. You know, it's good, right? We're on good terms now. Danny wasn't blackmailing me. No, not at all. Every time Danny's in here, he's just, you see the chat and he's just like, no, listen guys, like, I'm playing along with it, but like, this isn't true though. But like, it's like I'm playing along with it, but it isn't true. Like, okay, guys, like, if we're gonna be honest with ourselves right now, the real thing that we should be doing is wishing Danny a happy birthday, because it is his birthday. So, happy birthday, Danny! Sorry for pranking you. Looking to create characters and dragons. You're finding dragons to be a daunting task, and artists that are influenced by dragons. You could, there's a lot of dragon specific artists. I do a lot of dragons. There's also, oh crap, what's this, if it comes to me, I'll let you know. I'm just like, I'm spacing right now. It's not a troll. Oh, what? Okay, let's get this one. Adaptive skin. Also, you see what I'm doing down here in the adaptive skin area? How I'm turning the Dynamesh off and then taking the density down to 1? That's how you actually get it to be like this. If you actually put the density up, then it's going to be like, how many subdivision levels do you want your adaptive skin to be? If you take the Dynamesh level up, then it will actually come out as like that's the Dynamesh resolution, so it won't come out as a just a density 1 preview, but it'll actually come out like Dynamesh, so it'll be like thousands of polygons, however many that Dynamesh resolution would actually specify. Next gets it. Next gets it. I actually kind of want to... Ooh. Oh, that was a crumb. I was like, oh no, did my nib fall out? After a whole year of this one nib. Yeah, no, it was definitely for Danny's birthday because it is Danny's birthday. I baked cookies for Danny's birthday and now he's telling me that I'm a liar and it isn't actually his birthday. I mean, I feel like that's just rude, you know? Like that's just really rude. Danny, when do you stream next? You're not going to be on this channel on Friday because it's going to be the summit, but when's your next stream? That's true, yeah. There's a lot of people that have stolen your work. That's actually hilarious. There was like a time in Danny's Discord where all you could see was him like posting links to people who have stolen and reposted his artwork. It was like, cool. Listen, guys, if you take somebody else's art and then you put a green filter or a blue filter or any kind of a color filter over top of it and then say it's yours, that's not how this works. Oh, hey Shane, how are you? It's actually just Shane's accounts, like all of those people that have been stealing Danny's art, it's just all Shane. He's just been like duplicating, like making multiple accounts. And just stealing them in different creative ways just to mess with Danny because that's what he deserved. No. Yeah, I have a logo for myself. Well, it's like it's right here, and then I put this on a lot of my like final pieces because then I can tell like I'd be like what was the last feature or technique in ZBrush that I learned, like sat down and had to figure out? Array mesh. The last thing that I was playing around with was array mesh right here. Oh, actually yeah, it was array mesh, yeah. I'm still like messing around with it. Because it's not something that like I use a lot in my workflow, so I just kind of like had to go out of my way to look it up. Hey Seagull, yeah, no, I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I keep stopping to talk. Oh, Shane, did you say happy birthday to Danny? It's Danny's birthday. It's too late for you, Danny. It's way too late for you. Just accept it. Just enjoy your birthday, please. What are you now, like 80? Had a lot of birthdays. Alright, let's see, what can we do here? So I kind of want this to be, I don't know, we'll try and like make this sort of like mixed with maybe like crustacean. I always enjoy doing that. But that'll mean I'm just gonna like chuck this guy like right down into here. Yeah. I know, I even made cookies for him, and then here he is being the way he is. Look at it looks like a turd. But I'm telling you, they're good. They didn't turn out the way that I wanted to because I used raw sugar instead of brown and white sugar combination. That's usually your best bet when you're making cookies, but I used raw sugar and they just did not. They just did not. Oh, also, guys, if you don't know Shane Olsen, which I'm pretty sure you guys do, but if you don't, go follow him. Go check out his stuff. He's also a streamer on Pixelogic. And he streams on Pixelogic, and he's good and stuff, and he's gonna be at the summit. Check him out. Wow, rude. Danny just called me a moron. Did you guys see that? Did you guys see that? I said happy birthday to Danny, and he called me a moron. That's what I get. Unbelievable. Yeah, ban him, please. Just get Danny out of here. Ungrateful. Ungrateful. Just rude. Yeah, me, Raven. Me. I don't know how I'm here. Hello. I feel like the class clown, I'm sorry. Except there is no class. Okay, I'm gonna do something a little bit more crustacean-y. So, ooh, do you guys hear that? It's rain outside. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. I try to ban you every time I start streaming. Here, let me do it again. I hold on. Maybe now I have the power. Do I have the power? Ban. JK. So I'm actually thinking like these things could be kind of like rabbit feet, but like if the toes were right here and you were standing up on them, and then like this whole like back bit were the back piece of the foot. I don't know if that's gonna work. I'm gonna try it. It might be a total disaster. Like, sorta, kinda, but then, so that would have to be out more. Yeah, that can kinda work. And then making these actually pretty tiny in compared to his big haunches. Big honchos. and then give him that juicy rabbit booty. Oh, get that. All the furries are quaking. Just ruining everything right now. Are you guys having a debate on how to ban Danny? Because if you are, that's amazing. Is Kyle here? Can Kyle ban you? I want Kyle to ban you just for like a minute. Just for a minute. It would make my day. Games, I won't be able to give you any critique because I gotta like keep streaming sort of a thing, and this isn't really like a critique session. But that being said, you can post your stuff in chat and ask for critique, and there might be somebody who is who has the free time to do that. But I can't guarantee anything. Oh, true. Yeah, you could get onto Polycount too. That's a good idea. I'm sorry, I can't help it. They're so tasty. Yo, if you bake cookies, the whole point is to be eating them. No? Come on. Why else would you bake cookies? Just to stare at them? I mean, you kind of gotta eat the cookies. I wouldn't have gone through that labor if I wasn't gonna eat them. I'm gonna eat the cookies. And it's really good with black tea, like straight up black tea. It's so good because it's really bitter and then it's really sweet. That's a good combo. But enough about that. If you guys have any questions about what I'm doing, please let me know. Let me know. Just gonna do some like fur, a little bit of fur. Just a little bit though, because if I do a lot, then that'll probably murder me, because these are quick sculpts. Fur is a lot. I'm gonna focus a little bit on the face because I feel like it. So let's see here. Go. So, my big thing now is I'm gonna take this ugly mug. I'm actually gonna just exaggerate this even more. Why not? Just really get that weirdness going. Get a little bit of that under chin. Look at chat in just a sec. Gone through labor from these cookies? Yeah, I'm the mom. Cookie mom. How Dynamesh works? Basically, in short, it is going to like take all of the details that you've put down, like in layman's terms, because that's how I explain things. Sorry for no technicalities or anything, but just straightforward. So if I have a whole bunch of these details, basically what it's gonna do is, you see this? If I wanted to Dynamesh it, it's going to respect the details as best as it can in regards to the resolution that you set. So you click Dynamesh, it redistributes the topology based on the resolution that you had selected. So if you have a higher resolution, obviously that means the mesh will be more dense. But it basically just respects the details that you've put down, and it tries to project a new redistributed mesh on top of that and replace it. Basically, that's kind of like what Dynamesh does, in short. It makes it really easy just to not worry about poly count and all that kind of stuff when you're doing this kind of stuff. It's black magic, yeah. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, games. I didn't know what you were talking about. Do I ever play around in non-creature figure directions like props or vehicles? Have you ever started one of these sessions and landed on something with a hard surface look? I mean, this. So I didn't do this during one of these sessions, but this is the closest that I've gotten to a hard surface that I've been doing through sculpting randomly. This was for, you probably saw this when you were installing ZBrush. So it's just sort of like, I didn't actually intend for it to be hard surface when I was doing it, but then I just started seeing like, it would be cool if it was. In terms of this stream getting hard surface, actually, hold on, let me check something really quick. I think there was one sculpt that I had started to do, because when something gets a little bit hard surface, I usually end up doing something more crustacean-y. Let's see if I even have that other one posted. I might not. Yeah, I don't even have that one posted. Oh wait, yeah, I kind of do. So this one, I had started on stream, and I had started going in it was just a bus, so I had more time to just kind of like do whatever with it, and that had started going in a little bit more of the hard surface route. But you see, I didn't really get that far, because again, like I only have the 4 hours, and most of the time I'm spending talking to you guys, so it's a very distracted sculpt all the time. But yeah, in general, like, if you want hard surface stuff, there's a lot of other really good streamers that are on this channel that you can follow to get that kind of a look or that kind of a knowledge. Like Mike Pavlovich is one of them. He's incredible with that kind of stuff, and he's very, very fast at explaining things too. So when he goes through his whole like process, like you're not waiting there being like, yeah, but I already know this stuff. Like he's just like really, really fast. So he's good to learn from. Brendan, when he streams here, does a lot of hard surface stuff. Oh man, like there's a lot. Timothy Rapp does a lot of hard surface stuff. yeah, there's a lot of good streamers here. Let's see who else. You could also watch. Tony does 2D line art, but it's like hard surface a lot of the time. I know that there's a lot of people that you can follow here. I'm just like blanking because I'm put on the spot. Do you have any tips to not focus on like the details first, because you get tunnel vision really easy on details? Yeah, DJ, the whole thing is just try not to look at the details of something. So if you find yourself zoomed in like this, get zoomed out, okay? Get zoomed out. If you're working from here, you see me actually working from around like this size a lot of the time. It's because then I can focus on the shapes and I'm not looking at like the little details. It's like, okay, well, if it's far away, how does it read? Can you still see its silhouette? Do you still understand it? Is it a strong character from far away? If you're up close, how can you tell any of that? You know, you might start detailing stuff like really, really close up, and then when you zoom out, where you would normally see the character, it's like, oh, well, I just spent all of that time doing this nonsense that isn't even, like, I mean, the silhouette's still crap. Like, why would you, yeah, it's sort of, why would you do that, right? So, the best thing that I can say is just, like, get zoomed out. Get zoomed out. Just get zoomed out. Hey DZB, how are you doing? Oh, thanks Mort, I appreciate the plugs. Yeah, if you have any interest in following my spazzy butt, down there in the bar down here, you can see it where it says live right here, and then you follow your eyes all the way along. You'll see twitch.tv/a_cubed. You can follow me there on my channel if you want. Or you can follow this channel as well, and I'm also here along with a whole bunch of other people, so, or do both, you know, grab bag, whatever you want. It's all up to you. It's your life, it's your world, it's your choice, it's beauty. All right, see you, Tasty. Have a great night. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, Mike Pavlovich has a lot of really, really helpful tutorials. If you are going to be starting ZBrush like now out of like nowhere and you want somewhere to start, he's a good place to start, but also check out this thing that I'm putting in the chat called Z Classroom. It's Pixelogic's tutorials. And Ask ZBrush is another one. Hashtag Ask ZBrush on Twitter and on YouTube. Mr. Drust does a fantastic job of answering weird questions that people send in. You can learn a lot from that. Ooh, this is a little shaky. Stop it. Thanks, Edie. I wouldn't say there's one that's better, Loof, but I personally use Substance more frequently when I'm texturing. But I won't really get into that. Like, I wouldn't say that there's one that's better than the other. Like, they have their specific uses. So I'm wondering if I should do something where this comes down. Probably not, actually. I will push this upwards. Maybe? No. Playing around with the shape here to try and like get something that's flattering to the head. So I think actually this might work better. So I'm actually gonna think of like maybe like a crustacean integration. It might look a little bit weird. I'm gonna try though. Realms of tablets, which would be good starter tablet, Wacom Art, but that's interactive. Well, I can tell you what I am using. I'm using a Wacom Intuos Pro 5, or Wacom Intuos Pro rather, not 5, medium. In here, this is what it looks like. This is how big it is compared to my head. It's a really good amount of space to work. It's just a generally like really good like tablet. It's a little bit on the pricier side though. I think around the 500 mark Canadian. If you, I don't know so much about the bamboos. The bamboos might be good to start, maybe. But if you're really serious about getting into this, then I would say just bite the bullet and get yourself like a decent tablet. Like, don't cheap out, because you're gonna end up having to buy that in the end anyways. I would say that you don't need something like a Cintiq or like an on-screen, like, you know, display right now. If anything, like, you could just like get yourself, you know, like a tablet that you draw on. Danny says bamboos are great. You can listen to Danny, or you can just wish him a happy birthday. I mean, like, whichever. Great. To get this more, let's see. Let's get this. Right, I'll probably separate that now too. Dingo, dingo, dingo. Split. Probably save, because I haven't saved in a little while. Guys, if you haven't saved, Saverinos. Hey Stress, how's it going? How are you doing? Yeah, no worries, Luf. Have a great night. This is like a mammal that is encrusted with crustacean-y things. It's an interesting thing. This is not really my normal thing, but it's fun. It's like one of those things that, like, you know, if I wasn't doing like these for funsy kind of things, I wouldn't have come up with something like this. It's just the fact that I'm just kind of like letting myself do whatever, that I come up with like random stuff, which is why I tell you guys, you know, just let yourself go crazy once in a while. See what you come up with. Doesn't have to be the best thing ever, but you never know. Probably get this a little bit filled in here. It's like literally no room for the deltoid right here. I have to push this back. And this is going to be crustacean-y stuff, but then there's like the armpit hole thing here, and then this whole bit right here can be like triceps and stuff coming out, but like in crustacean form, but then respecting the shape that I have going on in the back, because I kind of like that. So this whole like back piece can almost be like, you know, like the bodybuilders, how they have like these wings. And I feel like that would be actually kind of appropriate considering like how ridiculous this guy's arms are. But that being said, it needs to be like, you know, properly placed. I can't just like have them hanging out willy-nilly. Stuff needs to come up and attach where it's supposed to. I mean, again, if the anatomy is just not going to be accurate to 100% because I'm not using a whole bunch of reference right now, so, but it's good to try and stretch your brain muscles, try and remember. A sea squirrel! I love it. Drawing something isn't cheating. That's still doing artwork. It's not cheating at all. It's good that you did something, Mighty. How did you make the skeleton? Like the arm, hands, and tail? With the Z-sphere right here. Let's see. Oh, nice! I love it! Dude, that's awesome! That's an awesome drawing! It's got so much character. That's so great, Mighty. That's so awesome. He's like a cute version of this dude, but in a space, like a spacesuit. Time flew by fast. Yeah, we've already been going for about an hour and 10 minutes here. Alright, see you, Mighty. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great night. Hey, Dassen, how's it going? Kind of thinking this needs to be a little bit more down. Alright, now same thing for this thing. Probably gonna dynamesh it. Then, oops, before I do anything, I kind of want to pull this top bit of the arm because, like, again, it's gonna be sort of like mammal and crustacean together. So I'm gonna extract this. Which I love using extract for making like plates and things like that. Makes me a happy camper. This is just driving me nuts here. This needs to be like super fixed right now. I find some of the hardest hands to create are actually the hands that have only like the two fingers and a thumb. Because it's so hard to balance the actual, the palm and the top of the hand with the, like, how big those two fingers are. Like, those are actually, like, for me, it's always a struggle. Because I always find that it doesn't look right, because I'm always trying to, you know, make it like a human hand. So I'm always, like, fighting against what I want to do. And this thumb is bent the wrong way. Can't have that. Hey Aston, how's it going? Are the palms sweaty? It's Mom's Spaghetti. That's the name of this guy is Mom's Spaghetti, 100%. I'm doing well, Aston. How are you? Just checking something. overall, I'm very unhappy with the way that this arm is positioned, so I'm just gonna noodle it around a little bit. I'm not gonna use that just yet. Probably get this working a little bit better before I start doing any kind of plating. Remember, if it's not working, simplify it. Also get zoomed out. Starting your day with my... Aw, that's nice. It's good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Hope you have a great day. That's something I always do by accident, is make the thumb bit higher than the outside of the hand. If you look at your hand, this part of your it's actually on a diagonal. It's never straight. It's never straight across. So when you're making hands and you're thinking about the wrist and how it connects, always remember the thumb connects lower than the outside of the hand, where the pinky it goes, and then the pinky actually goes directly to the elbow as well. There is a bone there that wherever you twist it, it will be aligned. That bone will be aligned with your elbow. Those are two things to keep in mind when dealing. So there's always going to be a line that hits from here to the elbow. Do I feel like I'm a pro in creature sculpting? I feel like I can always improve on what I'm doing. I don't believe that I'll ever think that I am at that end game sort of a thing. I always want to be better. I always want to learn more. And it's just kind of like a fun thing for me to do. So I don't know about like considering myself like a pro at like really like anything. That's more of like other people to decide for me. But I have been doing a lot of it, and I have been learning a lot, and I hope to just keep learning. If that's any any insight to that question. All right, see you, games. Have a great time. Thank you so much for stopping by. Good to see you. Oh, nice. Yeah, no, it's looking good though. Keep working on that one. Keep working on that one. So sometimes you can see me just like kind of hashing out the planes. So that's sort of like the back bit like of his backs, or the part of his back that connects with his hips. And in a simplified sense, it would look like there's like a plane that is the uppermost part of the butt area, and then that goes down without rounding anything out. There's a plane there, which is what I'm trying to get. And then this one would be attached to the spine. Tails are attached to the spine, everybody, not the butthole. If you're attaching it to the butthole, you're sculpting something completely different than a tail. Tails are just an extension of the spine. And there's actually people that have been born with tails, believe it or not. Because our ancestors used to have tails, and because of a genetic mishap, sometimes there are children that are born with little mini tails. You can Google it. It's kind of freaky. Dynamesh sub-projection. I don't use it that frequently, so I don't think that I'm like the best person to ask about that, but generally what sub-projection does is it basically like looks at the really tight details, and it distributes the mesh according to details specifically. So if you have a sub-projection on and it's high, and then it will put most of the mesh into like these crevices and things of that nature. It will just like make sure to like put most of the mesh there, and then areas where it's flatter, it will actually keep that more sparse. Besides that, I don't really know what else to talk about. Oh, cool. Thanks, Siegel. I appreciate it. Everybody's Googling, like, babies with tails. Oh, you guys are on the dark side of the internet now. Have fun! What's this creature called? Oh my gosh, what did we call it earlier? I don't even remember what we called it. We had a name for it, and then I completely forgot. Boo. Let's try and get a higher Dynamesh. Boop, boop. Mom spaghetti, yes, there you go. You got it. You got it. Yes, yes, it's a, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, it's called Mom Spaghetti. The advantages of ZBrush over Blender. One, you have Dynamesh. That's a huge thing. Also, it can handle really, really large, it can handle sculpting at high, like really high resolutions. The general, like the tools, there's so many more brushes to use. It's more of like an actual sculpting software, whereas like with something like Blender, it's just sort of like, I feel like it's one of those things where it's just tacked on. This is legitimately like focused completely on like the sculpting aspect of things. You will find that there's a lot more helpful tools and you will get like a cleaner result. Yeah, ZBrush, okay, so that's the thing, like, the UI looks like there's a lot going on, and it does look like very different from a lot of other programs, but it's one of those things where if you just sit down and you give yourself a week of just like playing around inside of it, you're going to find in no time you're understanding how everything works, and it becomes very, very intuitive, very easy to work with. It's just the initial getting over the fact that it is very different than a lot of the other 3D softwares out there. All right, see you, Seagull. Thanks so much for stopping by. Have a great night. Got it while watching? Oh, the URL doesn't work. You have to, no. I mean, there's, like, if you're a student, you could get a discount, I believe. Okay. So I'm actually thinking maybe this whole bit right here, we can actually do like an upper part where it's crustacean, like so. And then the fur actually comes out from the bottom of it. Oh, okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Hold on. Oh, cool. Very nice. Very, very nice. Yeah, she looks good. She looks good, King. I think this bit right like so. Keep this probably crusty. Have them sort of like paneled. And then I kind of want, like, I'm thinking like the fur and stuff to be... Oh, see, this doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna pull that in. Pull this up. There we go. We have the fur to come out from these bits to actually add a little bit more to the silhouette. This needs to come behind. That is in between. There we go. This whole thing doesn't need to be out so much. Do I do this full-time 3D art? Yes. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Here's what you sculpted. Let's see. Cool. Is that like, so this is your first time sculpting? Starbucks. Welcome to ZBrush. Welcome to sculpting. Welcome, welcome. It's looking good. Looking good for your first thing. Honestly, keep it up. Ooh, I need to get some water in me right now. Few days? Sweet. Nifty. Yeah, my first my first sculpt in ZBrush was pretty awkward looking, that's for sure. So yours actually looks like a person, which is pretty sweet. Mine was just, I don't even know. I don't even know. Has anybody actually been sculpting along? Say yeah if you're sculpting along with me. I'd like to know if you guys are. So I'm thinking that if you guys actually sculpt along with me, and you're sculpting something from scratch like I am and participating in this like sort of thing, that I'll start featuring them at the end of the stream. Maybe see what everybody does. Just go through a whole bunch of them. Yeah. Oh, we've got a few. Nice. Yeah, I was thinking like maybe we could do a little like not this time around, because I think it's a little bit too late. We've only got about 2 hours left. But next time, thinking I could take the people who actually sculpt along with the theme that I put down, and I'll feature them at the end on stream. If you put an Imgur link, I think that might be fun. But it has to be for the quick sculpt thing. Let me know what you guys thinkins. Yeah, go for it. Ask away. Danny's about to put down something that looks absolutely incredible and then tell you that he sucks and that you can rip it apart. So get ready for him to do that, but give him your feedback regardless. How do you make holes for the eyes and the mouth, by the way? For a human, you can extrude it inwards, so you could actually, like, if you're doing like the mouth thing, I'll just gonna give you an example because, like, yeah, whatever with this guy. But basically what I would do to make like a quick thing, like a quick mouth, is I would select an area, the area that is the mouth, and I would just kind of like push it inwards, and then Dynamesh it, and then I would take this area and then pinch it together, sort of a thing. And then after you pinch it together, you can ZBrush it and then start sculpting on a projected thing. So if I were you, Starbucks, look up ZBrush and projection, because that'll be an essential part of your journey in ZBrush. Sorry, your workflow, your journey in ZBrush. Zen. Is it like for a game or a 3D render? It's just kind of an exercise, really. Like I was telling everybody earlier, it's just really an exercise thing. The whole idea is to take a sphere without any reference or anything and just kind of like go at it. So this is just sort of like out of my head, no real reference, which of course, let me preface that rather with the fact that you should be referencing if you're going to be doing this for like an actual project, or if you wanted to actually learn anatomy, if you want to like push yourself forward, you're gonna want to use reference. You should always use reference. Many people say you're only as strong as your best reference, which is very true. But the thing is, like, this is more of a just a exercise, a for funsy sort of a thing. As long as you know that, then whatever. This is so, one of the things that I do is I actually break away from reference for a specific purpose, and that is so that I can focus on the shapes and the overall design of something over, you know, the details and the workings of an actual reference. Because the thing is, when I'm looking at images for a long time, I actually find that I get attached to them. And so then I can't really, like, you know, put myself into creating this whole, like, you know, just specifically like focused on design thing, because like I'm looking at a picture of a bird, for example, and then I just kind of like get attached to what that looks like. Which is totally fine if you're studying like a bird and everything like that, and that's totally cool. But I mean, like in terms of like learning design, this is not really like learning it. It's more of like just practicing what I already know. Hey Kyle, yeah, all's good, all's good. Glad to see ya. She did. Oh my god, Danny, holy. No, she totally looks Asian in this one. Yeah, no, like that looks really good in my opinion. I mean, I know you're not asking for my opinion because I'm not chat, but I'm saying like she looks really good. Oh my god, Oliver, that away. Oh, that's so brutal, you guys. Right on. Good job. Alright, good night, Danny. Guys, if you don't know Danny, go check out his work. He's a total amazing person, and wish him a happy birthday. Okay, good night, Danny. And if any of you are jumping out right now, do keep in mind that tomorrow is the ZBrush Summit Sculpt Off, so I would recommend you guys check that out. There's going to be some fierce competition, and it's going to be on this channel as well. Hey Zomax, how's it going? It's actually like at the 2-hour mark. I think I'm going to like take like a quick break, and I'll be right back in like 5 minutes. So if you guys want to like stand up, stretch, friendly reminder to stretch and everything, I'm gonna be like right back because I gotta do my stretches. So enjoy this guy, BRB, and enjoy the music or something. Yeah. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. That was more like 5, 6 minutes. I don't even know. Whatever. Hey, I'm back. What up? Okay, I'm gonna keep going. Hey, drummer. What up? How you doing? Alright, let's see. What exactly should I kinda wanna do more on the face, but yeah, I'll give him the teeth that I wanted to give him. Let's do that. I think IMM capsule is like my favorite IMM. Honestly speaking, I use that so much now. Broke is a joke. Yeah, join the club. Hey Mavi, how are you doing? Yeah, I was gone because like I was steeping another tea because I'm a little bit like tired and I want to just like not be. Peasants. I love that word, peasants. I love calling people pedestrians. Get out of my way, pedestrian. Who am I to talk, though? Actually, in my Discord, I call my mods peasants. Yeah. Plebeians! Oh my gosh! Plebeians! I love it. Any tips to make a face look close to the concept it's based on? Because your face looks like a face, but nowhere close to what it's based on. Look for key detail, like not details, but like key features of that person's face, like overall. When you look at their face, what stands out the most? And another thing is, you know, when you're just doing like a face, you're probably generalizing proportions. One thing is to always measure on somebody else's face. Like, you know, if you're looking at like how big their nose is, take how big their specific nose is in relation to, you know, the bottom part of their face. How big is their forehead? You know, what's the spacing between their eyes like? Sort of a thing, because a generalized you know, proportion will just kind of give you a generic face, but everybody kind of like has like this offset. There isn't like a, you know, one size fits all sort of a thing. Some people's eyes are higher than the other one. I have one eye that's bigger than the other. A lot of people actually have that. Their mouths sometimes are crooked. One side is a little like slightly higher than the other. It's all about like just measuring on that person's face, you know, like, okay, well, this proportion for them is slightly different than our generalized proportion. Hey, X-Fighter, how are you doing? Oliver. Oh my god. I don't mean to say these like these things as mean. It's just like everybody's proportions are different. Like my face proportions, like you can't tell because I'm wearing makeup, but like without my makeup on, one of my eyes is actually larger than the other one slightly. A lot of people have that sort of a thing as well, and like if you keep your mouth completely straight, you're gonna notice that it is a little bit lopsided on one versus the other, because everybody favors one side of their body over the other. A lot of people put their right hand first, and when people are talking, depending on what their dominant side is, they actually tend to speak out of that side of their mouth. That's not for everybody, but that's actually something that does happen with some people. Like for me, like you can see, like I keep like going like from here more, but it you know, it depends on the person. So that actually affects your facial proportion, like, you know, the way that your face is kind of like comprised as well. Where wrinkles form too is like how a person speaks, you know, on a more subtle scale, but it is something to keep in mind. Hey Mino! Information in ZBrush. Oh, okay, cool, thanks. Welcome. Nice, that's looking good. That's looking pretty sweet. Welcome, that's like your first thing. You're doing really well. Hey Reggie! Ugh. Oliver, oh my god. Really, check it, Starbucks. Oh, okay, I get you. Yeah, I would just say it's all about measuring the proportions there. You know, a good thing to keep in mind is like how prominent her eyes are. I'm not gonna give you like a full critique, but just keep in mind like her eyes are something to measure the rest of her face with, because her eyes are the center of like that's like the biggest feature that she has. So try and measure everything up against like her eyes and that.
sunlit silence. Hovering there, I chased the shouting wind along. And while with silent, lifting mind I trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space and touched the face of God.
So I'm thinking down here, yes, I like this like fluff stuff, but I think the fluff stuff should only come into play lower down here. I need to get more of like a neck going on with this guy. This could be like fluff here. And then here we're gonna have probably a little bit, a little bit of that kind of like fluff integrated into these ears. Maybe not like that. This. Let's just come down a little bit more. Thank you, Slip. How are you doing? Never use them out. Wait, hold on. What's going on? If you want this as a pet, I wouldn't have this as a pet. It's like a weird were crab rabbit dog. I use a Wacom Oliver. I use a Wacom Intuos Pro. Oh my god, who would sculpt with a trackpad? You must be insane. Okay, I'm gonna do my little plug right now because I haven't plugged the stream in a while. Guys, if you're new here, this is the Pixelogic channel. There's a ton of other artists that stream here. Definitely give this channel a follow. There's a lot of other really amazing artists, and you can also watch the ZBrush Summit, which is this weekend, and the Sculpt Off tomorrow on this stream. And if you like me, my stream is linked in the comments or in the chat. If you don't see that though, then at the very bottom of the screen, you see this bar right here where it says live. If you follow this bar at the bottom, whoop, all the way over to the other side, where it says twitch.tv/a_cube, that is me. So if you like that, that's totally cool. Yeah, I'm a little bit nuts on my stream occasionally. Sometimes it's just a chill stream, but usually I label when I'm feeling extremely hyperactive or not. Some days are kookier than others on my channel, that is for sure, but sometimes it is just a general chill stream where I'm just doing sculpting. But if you're interested in that, feel free to follow. I think here I kind of want to put like leg pads or something. Let's try it. Mm. Mm. Nah. Nah. Yeah, no, the medium is more than enough space that you need to do any kind of sculpting. Kyle, thank you. Guys, go follow Kyle. No, I'm kidding. Or do, you know, whatever. Maybe one day Kyle will stream. Just stream banning people. Oh yeah, get rid of that concave. So one thing that I really like to do in my designs, here's another tip when designing stuff, is if you want like an appeal to your characters, and I understand that, you know, like in realistic stuff, this doesn't necessarily apply all the time. But when you're sculpting something, think of everything as like full shapes. So you notice like all of my curves are convex, like they're all like pushing outwards, or it's just like one straight line, save for this thing, but it is like, it's just kind of like curved on like the inside area like that, but like most of it is made up of shapes that are pushing outwards or straight, because if you think about it, this whole thing right here would be like one solid shape. So if you kind of do everything convex rather than concave, it looks like it is made up of actual solid figure, like solid shapes in itself, and it feels very 3D. If you make everything kind of like convex like this, or concave rather, you end up, yeah, it could be a stylistic choice and that's completely fine, but you can end up with a much more flimsy feeling to your model. So and this isn't a hard rule, like I just said, like it can be a stylistic choice, but if you want something that feels very 3D, then you go for convex shapes. All right, let's do a curved tube. Do a curved tube here. Split that off. And these will be like little tufts of fur that are sticking out from like these these sort of like armor bits. And this is one of those things where I would break symmetry later and just kind of muck with that a little bit more. But because time is of the essence, we're just gonna place them. Oh, cool. Nice, Diego. Or you're drawing along. That's sweet. That's awesome. Awesome. I love seeing that people are actually like working with me. It makes it like that much better. Hey, Blands. What point do I break from symmetry? Usually if before the final detailing stage, that's for sure. When I break from symmetry, it is when I'm starting to pose, which is usually not too far off from this, but I'm still blocking. So I usually start breaking symmetry after I'm done the blocking stage, but because the stream is usually just about like blocking things out, it's not usually about like, you know, the final, you know, detailed model or anything like that. I usually don't end up breaking symmetry too much. How did I do that fur? Oh, with the snake hook tool. I'll show you in a second. Yeah, so how I did that is if you have the snake hook tool and then you take the drag option and you actually turn that to a spray, you'll notice let's do, actually I'll save this and then I'll go to a spear. So you can get like, you can get some kind of stuff with that, and then if you want that to be exaggerated, you can actually go into your alphas and then take this speckle and you can get something that looks like this. And then if that's too much for you, what you end up doing is you take off the spray and just do a dots or whatever, and then you can get something like this as well. And you know, you can play around with the speckle. It doesn't necessarily need to be a speckle. You can grab a different kind of alpha. You can do it with like even the lines, and you can get things like this, right? So you can get like a very like furry look with that as well. And then you can also do, what was the other one that I was using? It might have been like this veiny one. Yeah, the veiny one. So you can use the snake hook tool to just kind of like create that sort of furry look. But just keep in mind, the larger your brush, the more this thing is going to push in that direction. The smaller your brush, it's just gonna be, you know, small and sharp. So you can make accents like that. Yeah, that's a little trick that I learned from my the first lead that I ever had when I was working for my first job. I saw him doing something one day and I like rolled my chair over and I was like, "What is that? What are you doing?" And he's just like, "Oh, this? I'm just dragging stuff out. Just trying to find a new solution to the hair for this project." And I'm just like, "Oh my god, what? How are you doing that?" And then that's how I found out about that. I feel like these pieces right here I could do something more interesting with. They're kind of bothering me actually. So I'll probably like split them off. Try and find something fun. Alright, we'll split that. I'm gonna save real quick because I don't know if this is gonna crash. Do I make my own brushes? Sometimes I just use like I actually, like, to be honest with you, I don't really like download a lot of brushes. Like, you know, if I see somebody's like got like this fancy new brush, like I'm like, but do I need it? Right? Like I feel like specialized brushes are more for, you know, the final stages of your sculpting and stuff like that. Like in terms of this, I've literally been using basic brushes that come with ZBrush for this entire thing. Like, so when you're doing your initial sculpts, you don't really need any of that kind of stuff. But that being said, I do have like some brushes, like the orb crack brushes have been proved useful for some stylized stuff in the past. And then there's also ZBrush Guides has like a bunch of like really cool, like quick, detail-y kind of brushes as well that you can use. I really like his, the web skin sort of thing that that Pablo had made. And he teaches you how to do double action brushes and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool. But like besides that, I don't really do that. Because honestly speaking, like having an arsenal of brushes isn't gonna make you any better at what you do. I don't know. Whenever it gets to this part of like the chill mix, I'm just kind of like, oh, that's ruining my vibe. So sad. Couples breaking up over chill step. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you don't need like a ton of brushes. Even like as you said in Photoshop, Oliver, like the less brushes you have, the more you focus on the task at hand, right? Like, you're not focused on, oh, but like, what should I use for this? And, you know, should I use this brush like number 823 for this certain thing, or should I use 726 for this same thing? Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, you need to just like focus on sort of like the basics, and like that's sort of like what this like exercise is just being comfortable with like the basic stuff and seeing like, you know, what kind of a sculpt you can get with just that, you know. Understand yourself as an artist. Like, you don't need all of the frills in order to create something great. The frills can come later once you've already, you know, taken your fundamental skills to a very, very good spot. Then you can speed up your workflow with all these frills and things of that nature. But having like an entire, like if you press the brush thing, and then this entire screen, if your whole screen is full of brushes, buddy, what are you doing? Like, I'm going to guarantee you do not use half of those. It's the same thing with like, you know, if you're pressing your materials tab, do you have like a billion materials in here? Do you need a billion materials in here? The whole thing is like, you know, if you're gonna render, I mean, sure, I guess, but at the same time, like, you don't need like all of this excess. And that's sort of like my mindset when I've created my UI as well, is just, I literally just have like the most simple stuff that I need up here, and like everything else I go into the menus for, because generally speaking, when I'm quick sculpting, it's just like all I need is ZBrush, Dynamesh, and a few of these buttons down here, and that's about it. And I try to make sure that I have as much screen real estate as possible in the document so that I'm focused specifically on the thing that I'm sculpting, just like not worried about like all the buttons all over the place, you know, just not adding any complications to what I'm doing, so that I can just like 100% focus on the thing that's on my screen. And it does help you. It helps you get into the mindset of like, okay, this is the more important thing. I don't need to worry about like, you know, in later stages, do I have to use whatever technique? It's really just a matter of getting the art looking good, getting your design looking good. And that's like the really great thing about designing in ZBrush. It's sort of like the same thing as like when you're drawing. Like, there's not really a commitment to anything, because you can all, like, it's very, very forgiving. Like this clay is very forgiving. So if you have like an issue with something later stages, like, it's so easy to just go back and change it. It's not a huge deal. Like, you don't have to worry about like your topology or anything like that. Even in later stages, like, you can mask out certain areas. Like, it's not a huge deal. And so I try not to stress myself out over complicating things in the UI, in the brush palettes, in the program in general. Like, I just kind of try to keep it simple until it needs more later on. Just wondering how I should integrate this one with this. Thinking... Soul, I'm just sculpting out of my head right now. Five of my most used brushes. One, I have these mapped to my my 1 through 0 keys on my keyboard. I'll tell you my top 6. One is clay buildup. Clay buildup does this, right? It just keeps going. You can do an alternative function, but that's basically what you see me doing, like all over this model, like, you know, just adding clay. It's clay buildup. 2, Damien Standard, Dam Standard. That basically just cuts lines, and so I usually draw on my sculpt to hash out, oh, okay, well, this is where I want, you know, cuts to be. This is sort of like the line direction that I want it to go in. 3 is H polish. So H polish, you can get, like, you know, some sharper lines. It's more for hard surface or carving out planes. 4 is my snake hook brush, which I use, well, not my snake hook brush, but I use snake hook for moving instead of the move tool, just because I was a spaz and started using that when I first started using ZBrush without watching any tutorials, and it just kind of stuck. And 5 is inflate. Inflate is good for, yeah, we're just inflating things. You can do an alternate function to that as well. And 6 is pinch, and pinch I actually use more than H polish now. When I'm creating planes, it's actually probably my favorite way to do really quick hard surface is by using the pinch brush, or even just like cleaning things up in general. Watch how fast I can kind of like grab different planes here, right? And then if you soften that out, suddenly that becomes a soft or a hard surface right there. So you can just like use the pinch brush like so, and then smooth it out. And because you've pinched all of the topology into those areas, it actually maintains a very like hard edge, a hard flat surface over things. So I actually use the pinch brush more than I use H polish and things of that nature, which is what you can see. Like I do that kind of stuff here, and the reason why, and I'll show you actually how that works, because you're pinching everything into this one area. All of this topology stretches here, and then you do that into wherever else you want the plane to be, and then if you smooth this out, there's so little topology there that it comes off as very, very sharp, very smooth. So I end up not using, I just end up using that over a lot of other smoothing techniques now because it does that. You can customize your UI through the preferences. You can go into, not custom UI, sorry. Enable customize right here. So if you click enable customize and then you control alt click on a button and drag, I think it is. I'm not 100% sure. You can look that up on the ZBrush site. I'm sure they have the actual thing. I always forget what the hotkey is to like drag the buttons around because I just don't do it that much. But Z Classroom has an entire thing on how to customize, so I'd recommend you check that out. Hey, Vini Yamin. Thank you. Appreciate it. Welcome. this to stick out more. I think if I get this bit in here, just to be a little bit more flat, it'll look a little bit better. How do you redistribute your topology for it to put majority of the polys where most details are? King, you can use Dynamesh with subprojection. This one piece and then mask some parts so you make them out of separate pieces from the start. You can see how I started once you watch the VOD on this, but generally speaking, I do a mixture of both. So for appendages, I typically do it via Z-spheres or like actual, you know, primitives, just appending a primitive. But the, I would say like this kind of stuff, like these like panels and things like that, I actually just like mask them off and then separate them. Yeah, no worries. Your choice to work on any particular project, what would you choose to do sculpting-wise? What do you mean by project? Like, in terms of like for a studio or for myself? For myself, probably the best thing that I would say is like I really want to create dioramas, maybe not like dioramas like that you're used to, sort of like for print and things like that. So very minor environments with one or more characters involved, but like, you know, all creature based. And I will be getting into that more. You'll see a lot more of that on my channel as I start to get a lot more free time and I finish up all of the freelance stuff that I'm currently doing. But yeah, in general, I really like the multiple characters sort of thing, like multiple creatures, and I like storytelling as well through art. When it comes to making sculpts, like it's great to just kind of like flesh something like this out, but I think one of my favorite things is being able to tell a story visually. And I want to get better at that, so I'll probably be doing more of that on my channel in the time to come. So I guess like the best example that I could give you for something like that, like a sort of like scene, would be the thing that I did for the Thu challenge, which is basically like this thing. So that's this I like, yeah, you can see how I did that here. So it's like I actually really enjoy doing like paint overs of sculpts that I make, and then finalizing it like, you know, that way. I find that like is super, super fun, is like lighting stuff, lighting your base models and lighting your scenes in you know, Keyshot or within Maya using like Arnold or whatever, like, and then having like that image and like a couple of render passes and then like playing around with it in Photoshop and then like just kind of like doing paint overs on top. I really, really enjoy doing that kind of a thing. So I guess yeah, that would be my preferred project to work on for myself. Where did I learn to do this? Online, like just, and playing around with the program itself. I went to a animation school, but I didn't learn 3D there. I learned more about structured drawing. Before that, I was at a fine arts high school, and I got like, I know that sounds like really weird, but it was like a specialized high school. Ooh, fancy me. Where like I didn't take like any electives. It was just like, here, have a studio space, and this is what you're doing with your life instead of actually learning anything. I gotta do something more with these hands. Alright, I could probably kinda like get some plate armory kind of things off here. What studio do I work for? Are you a freelance sculptor that gets hired? I was working in studio for the past like couple of years, past like 2 years, and I've only recently moved to remote work. I'm still currently working for a studio right now, remotely. I'm working on a animated feature film, but I can't tell you guys about it yet because nothing's been put out there. But soon, hopefully soon, I'll be able to share that. And in terms of like other freelance, yeah, I just kind of like I get jobs coming in randomly, and I just like lately I've just kind of like been saying yes a little bit too much. So I have been kind of swamped with work, which is not a bad thing. I'm not complaining at all, but it's just sort of like I want to take some time to myself. So I'm probably just gonna like finish up all of this this freelance that I have currently going, and then work on improving my art. don't think I dig these. I don't want that. I keep trying that, but it's just not working. It's just not doing it. Just not doing it. Hey, Lopar, how's it going? Thank you, sir. Chetimus. Yeah, a lot of schools are actually like that. It's really up to the student what you end up learning and what you take away from your schooling. How do I like remote work? You've been doing it for about a year. It took you a while to get into a good group. Yeah, so that's the big thing is I'm trying to get into like a sort of like forcing myself to be on a schedule because my hours, I think that's like the biggest problem is like going remote. I'm like free, so I feel very like, you know, I can wake up whenever I want. I can sleep whenever I want, and it's not a good thing. So I gotta get into like that sort of groove as well. Like I totally understand what you're saying with that, but I like it because it's sort of like one of those things where if you do have to take some time for yourself, it's like, well, I work remote, so it doesn't matter. Or if you're a little bit tired that day, it'd be like, well, I worked 4 hours, time for a nap. It's fine. So that's the really cool part about it. But the drawbacks would be, I'm sure the taxes are gonna get at me. They're gonna get at me real nice and good. And another one would be the communication. Communicating through emails all the time can be a pain for some people because they just don't do emails very well, and I'm learning that. Like as soon as I get an email, I reply to it. Like it's sort of like, you know, within the same day, like I am like on that email. But getting a response for some other people, it can be very challenging. Oh, you finished the couch, Hugo. Congrats, that's looking really good. Nice. That looks like it could be an IKEA catalog. That's pretty dope. Working in video games or film? I haven't worked in video games, so I wouldn't be able to tell you. I've done things for 3D print clients. I have worked in television, and I have worked for animated feature film, but in terms of video games, like I have not actually worked for a video game client before, so I can't tell you if I would prefer it or not. My boyfriend actually works on Dead by Daylight, and he did work on, like, he worked on Gears of War, and he also worked on an Assassin's Creed. game as well, and so he kind of is always telling me about, like, you know, the workflow of video games compared, and then I compare it to, like, you know, the film workflow, and they're very similar. They're actually very, very similar. So I don't know if I would prefer one or the other, because it does sound very, very similar. I think the biggest thing about, like, working in games, though, is there's, like, this sort of, like, sense of, like, community. Like, everybody around you just absolutely is, like, obsessed with games. So that can be kind of, like, cool. Work hours, yeah. Sorry, there's a lot of a lot of comments here. Yeah, no, I know, Chatimus, I know. Well, if you think about it, your taxes for where I live, it's about, you know, 25% of, like, depending on what bracket you're in, it could be anywhere from like 25 to 35% of what you make, you end up having to pay back to the government. So, yeah, there you go. So Chatimus actually just put that down. Yeah, it could be pretty brutal. So it's just like, oh yeah, look at this, like, paycheck, I can finally pay rent. But it's just like, if you just make rent, then you have to realize, yeah, but in April, that means that I'm 30% of that in debt. Like, I need to be able to, like, you need to, like, put that aside, like, into, like, another account or something like that, being like, no, like, I can't spend that. I can't, like, 30% of this, I can't get in there. So it is sort of like this this responsibility as well that you have to take on. Oh man, Belgium, brutal taxes. Chatimus, sounds like you were kind of salty there. Kind of salty. Yeah, Canadians stand strong. Let's build a chain link, us holding hands as we pay taxes in April. Oh yeah, no, that's another thing is if you're working freelance, like I'm considering doing that as well, is like opening up a like a company for your own personal self or whatever, because then you can actually like write off certain expenses for your uh whatever you're using that is in regard to what you're doing for freelance. McLovin. All right, Cecil, thanks so much for stopping by. Actually, I might try to do a little bit of this with the tail. So why not? Why not? And then and with that, we'll just take these guys off, I think. See, you guys are kind of typing like madmen over there. I'll check the chat in a minute. So we're almost, we're like 40 minutes off from completion here. Let's split this off. Close holes. And I'll quickly save. Close holes. Okay, let's see what's this insane chat. Everything that I missed. What is it, a wolf or a bunny? It's nothing in particular. You can think of it as whatever you want it to be. That's what it is. Whatever you want it to be. Hey Britt. Oh, I'm so glad that I'm helping you out. That's great. Glad to hear it. You're in Winnipeg now? What are you doing in Winnipeg? Where are you working, sir? Or wait, no. You said you're remote? You're remote in Winnipeg? Just have like some this is not gonna look good because I don't have time to like actually like groom everything either. Whatever, we'll just accept that. It's not really too... Nope. Just get a little closer. Get in there. There we go. Yeah, whatever. It's the idea. Man, this doesn't actually end up looking that good because I don't have any time to like really like groom or anything like that. So I'm probably just gonna delete this. Ew, gross. Oh, whatever. That does not look that good. Nah. Oh, Art Bully. Nice. Cool. Oh, I remember the show Ben 10. Does my boyfriend have an art station? Not one that he wants me to share. Unfortunately. Not yet. He's gonna be working on improving that at some point. Okay, I'm just gonna get rid of that. This isn't working. It's just taking away from everything. Okay, let's see, what can I want to focus on the face. Yeah, we'll just do that. Oh, it's not mirrored. Not bad. So I'm not saying no. No, I'm not saying. I mean, I technically am saying no, but I'm not. Yeah, whatever. All right. Good night, X-Link. Thanks so much for stopping by. Oh man. So let's get this. Why did I switch my brush? Do not know. It's forever a mystery. These. All right, so here I'm gonna Dynamesherinos again because this is looking fugly, and I'll do the same thing that I had done with the tail, but with a different alpha, probably this one. Smooth this out a little bit, and oops, maybe not like that much. No, 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 no. And taking it off of symmetry because, damn boy, you cannot be symmetrical like that. Belly beard. Oh my god, that would be like such a great username. Hey Bert, how you doing? Polish without flattening the shape. There is a tool that you can use. It's in geometry. It's called clay polish. You can actually use this and you can get like a polished version of your sculpt, and you can play around with these settings in here. Dynamesh also has a clay polish button right here, so if you do that, then it polishes while it dynameshes. Those are other ways. Do I work with layers? Yes, I do. Not for this guy, I haven't been, but typically, yeah, I do. Especially when it comes to like wrinkle maps or, you know, any kind of like displacement that I would have to make on a character. Yes, for sure. And like, I also work with layers when I am trying to figure out if I am on board with a specific kind of like detailing that I'm doing. Because then I can turn certain things on and off. How long have I been doing this? I've been, sculpting in general or working on this character? Oops. Ooh. I guess I can answer both. I've been sculpting on this character for about 3 hours. And, I have been working in 3D for about 3-ish. Closer to the foot. I don't know. I'm trying to remember now how many years. It's somewhere in between 3 and 4 years, I guess, that I've been doing 3D. Aw, Bert. That's so nice. I appreciate it. Yeah, I can see there is since I've begun streaming on Twitch like about a year ago, I have seen like a huge improvement for my art, and I feel like you're just gonna keep seeing me grow, which is gonna be really exciting. And if you guys are, you know, playing along with me, you're gonna grow with me, which is super exciting. And I love seeing your guys' work too, like in the Discord. Like I welcome you guys to post your stuff. I don't always critique things because I don't have a ton of time, but seeing your stuff it really makes me excited for everybody. Seeing that everybody's working at it. It's a good community. Hey, Abigor. This is something. It's like a wolf bunny crustacean plant hybrid. Well, I wouldn't say self-taught because like the internet provides lots of tutorials, so I would say the internet is my teacher. But yeah, I didn't really go to school for 3D in particular. I went to Sheridan College for animation. I have my animations bachelor, but it's not like 3D oriented. It was traditional, mostly 2D in general. Lopart, what do you think? Did I do anything for was it Taco Tuesday? International US Taco Tuesday? No, I didn't. I didn't have a taco on Taco Tuesday. Does it have a name yet? Yeah, Mom Spaghetti. That's what chat named it. Okay, let's see. We could... What are we missing here? I think it's pretty strong. Yes, King named it Mom Spaghetti, but then so did chat. It was a Wednesday? Yo, you can't... Wait a minute. So it's like my story. Oh, okay, only like the people that hang out on my chat, like on my channel, and like have been watching a long time will get this, but if Taco Tuesday was on a Wednesday, then that brings us back to that Tim Hortons story that I had shared with you, Lovar, and everybody else who was on my channel. Taco Tuesday, except it's Wednesday. Aw, Bert! Oh, you're being such a sweetie. Please. Okay, I gotta finish doing some stuff here. Let's start, maybe detailing, I guess. We can start doing a little bit more, because I mean, in general, I would want to, okay, you know what, don't put it off, just do it, Ash. Just separate these. You're supposed to. Save real quick. And close holes. Great. 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 Excellent. Fantastic. Wonderful. You remember? Oh my god, Daly, you remember that story? Oh man. It's a good story, right? Good story. Yeah, you gotta keep saving. Save on the regular, Bert. 17 minutes to TaskRabbit some tacos. This is true. Wait, what's TaskRabbit? I could go and get me some tacos right after this. Actually, I don't know where any tacos are around me. I mean, there's lots of poutine everywhere. But I don't know about tacos. I gotta find a taco place. Your printer is 3D. It only prints with ink on flat papers, but it itself is three-dimensional. Well, I mean, yeah, that's... Alright, congrats, Lopar. Congratulations on your 3D printer that doesn't print 3D, but it is 3D. I don't even have a printer, so I mean, I guess you win. You win the fact that you even have a printer. Congratulate. I applaud you. Oh my gosh, I have to do Inktober right after this. Oh, I'm gonna die. I'm so tired. Inktober. You would think I work from home. I should have all the time in the world to do Inktober, but it's been like destroying me slowly. It's only like day 4. Is anybody else doing Inktober here? It's amazing how big that's gotten. Oh, Uber for okay, I get you. Yeah, no, please don't deliver me any tacos. Hey, Squid Tank, how's it going? Oh, no! No, Squid Tank, catch up! You gotta catch up! Oh, thank you, Asen. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Oh, the tired is getting at me. I've been trying to, like, drink more tea than I normally drink in order to, like, keep going on this, but like the tired is just winning. I don't know what it is about today. Like I had so much sleep, but it's just one of those days where I'm just like I can't escape the tired. Send help. You're playing Stream Legends? Hell yes. Boy, yes. Play them, Stream Legends. It wasn't a Tim Hortons coffee. Oh, I don't like Tim Hortons coffee. I just don't. Something, I think they switched their brand. I'm just making plates, 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 plates. They had to stop using 18% cream and go to 15% or something? Wait, really? Wait, what? I don't think Lopar has a 3D printer. I don't have a 3D printer either. Need to get with the program and start upgrading these buildings. Wait, what? What buildings? Wait, what's going on? What buildings? I am completely lost. I don't know anything anymore. Oh, yeah, no, yeah, the Stream Legend things, yeah. That needs to get upgraded. Cause, like, okay, so there's like this little mini game on my stream. If you're watching through my stream, you'll see it in the comment, like in the info section below my channel. Not this one. This is the Pixelogic channel, which follow it, by the way, if you aren't, because there's lots of really great streamers that stream here. You can also check the you can also get the ZBrush Summit live right here on the Pixelogic channel. But yeah, the Stream Legends thing on my channel. it needs those buildings to be upgraded. That minigame needs needs attention. Still believe that there needs to be like plating on his arms. I don't really like have a ton of time to like go into that though, so I'll just do a little bit of like a fur thing. I don't have time. Okay, well, let me just save that really quick. And we're like 5 minutes off from having to be done, so I'm gonna quickly finish this off by saying, okay, well, here's our dude. Here's our diddly diddly dude. Wait, let's get a better three. No, do we want this one or yeah, there we go. Presenting him. Okay, so if you guys enjoyed this, please give Pixelogic a follow. This is going to be the last Pixelogic stream before the ZBrush Summit begins. So tomorrow you can tune in to this channel for the live sculpt offs, and after that, there's going to be a whole bunch of presentations from Nomen where the ZBrush Summit is happening, so definitely check into all that. The schedule is down below. I also post it in chat, right like so. And I'm live here every Wednesday at 8 p.m. EST. If you want to tune in to more of these quick sculpts, again, feel free. But if you want to see me on my own channel where I'm a little bit more of a spaz and laid back, you can check that out where we're gonna go for a little ride right here. Hold up. Ready? Hello! And there I am, right here. That's a me right there. So if you want my channel, that's what it is. Yeah. So with that being said, I really appreciate everybody coming out, and I will see everybody next Wednesday. I would say who's going to be performing next, like tomorrow, but it is going to be the Sculpt Off, so tune into that. I'm going to be hanging out in chat as well, and we can just make a whole bunch of noise while we're watching these people, these pros, Sculpt Off. So if you think this was cool to watch, you should see some of these guys when they're under pressure. Then they're not talking to anyone, they're just like 100% focused on their sculpts, and they're just gonna destroy it. There's a hard surface category and there's an organics category, so this is gonna be interesting. And also you can win prizes as well, so get a Twitter account up because they're gonna be asking, maybe not tomorrow, I'm not 100% sure, maybe tomorrow, but during the summit they're going to be asking people to submit answers on Twitter, so get your Twitter account up. And I still have 2 minutes. Darn, I didn't realize that I still had some time. Okay, yeah, so if you guys have any questions, let me know. I'll get you guys the Discord link. I'll put it in the I'll put it in the chat right here. So you guys can join the Discord if you'd like. And one more link for the chat. Right here. Alright guys, have a good night. See you around. Danny doesn't actually hate Wally, I lied. Okay. And bye!